meditation, but taking a few deep breaths just to get grounded and centered. And yeah, so if you're comfortable closing your eyes, you can do that, and go ahead and place your right hand over the center of your chest and your left hand over your low belly. And we'll just take 3 deep breaths here together, just beginning with an exhale, letting all the air out. Deep inhale. Opening the mouth out. 2 more. Inhale. One more. And letting the hands rest down. Opening the eyes. The door is locked. Makai, sorry. If you need a hand down, I need nobody. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a little clearing of the energy. I came in a little frazzled today, running a little behind, and just, yeah, the energy feels out.
We all get frazzled. I thought I was gonna be more so, but like 5 milligrams of caffeine. Just so I don't get headaches.
Yeah. So I just like to say my little prayer before I smudge. So you can close your eyes with me and just tune into the energies. Thank you to Creator and Mother Earth and Sage Spirit for this beautiful healing tool. Please help us use this now to clear our energy fields of any old, stale, negative energies, making way for new, fresh energies of positivity, love, light, peace, joy, unity, oneness, harmony, healing, gratitude, abundance, and prosperity. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So as I just walk this loop around and just feeling the old energies just drifting away, and letting go of anything that is no longer serving you, that you're ready to shed during this time. I can do it work. First, so if you're walking and say, back to the universe, back to the light. And some smudging for you, Allie.
Thank you.
And whoever else watches this later.
Audie says she can smell it.
Yes, girl. She's connected to the quantum field. Oh, here's something. We tried reading it in this. So we'll just come to internal connection just with our eyes closed for a moment. And just thinking about what is your business like in a nutshell, like how would you describe it to somebody in a short amount of time? So I'm talking about an elevator pitch, if you know, Candace has one nailed down by now, but if this is something new for you or you haven't thought much about this, it's basically just like if you were in an elevator with somebody and you met somebody and you're trying to tell them, within a few minutes or a few sentences, what it is that you do and who you are, how would you say that? So we're gonna go around and introduce ourselves, even though we all know each other, because we're gonna pretend that we're like talking to somebody new that we've never met before. And yeah, so just doing a little role playing, but getting into it and yeah. So if you don't mind, Candace, you go first.
Well, I'm Candace. And I like to help support others in their journey of health and wellness using all kinds of different mindfulness practices and tools and connection to plants, spirit medicine, and herbalism. And I especially am on the focus right now working with EFT and tapping and really getting people to do some of the deeper neuro reprogramming, working with inner child work, parts work, shadow work. And then as I delve deeper with people, I just love to kind of explore lifestyle, mindfulness practices. I incorporate Tai Chi and Qigong. I offer classes for that, so people can come and have some weekly support. And I'm shifting my business online now to be able to spread my offerings outside of the community, which I've been a part of for about 20 years now. Yeah. And since I am ADD and really owning my ADD, I'm now really kind of shifting my focus to supporting people who have neurodivergence or who relates to having ADD or ADHD symptoms. So I really like to support people with what I like to call empowered focus calm focus and empowered self-worth. So that's like really my focus that I'm trying to bring to my community. Yeah. That was a long elevator ride, but considering how much I do, that's. Thank you.
I'll go next. And then we'll let you.
You're ready.
My name is Amelia, and my main mission here on Earth in this lifetime is to assist in the ascension towards unity consciousness by helping people to raise their vibration. And so I do that in a lot of different ways. One of the things that I do is lead women's circles. And I'm very much about like empowering women and really helping women to step into their full power and heal on a deep level so that they can do that. And then I also offer one-on-one sessions, which are called Quantum Soul Alchemy and super powerful chakra clearing sessions. And I'm the co-founder of the Crystalline Collective, and yeah, it's a yoga studio and healing center. And I've just started a new, I'm calling it like a group coaching program, but that doesn't really feel like the right name. It's more of a transformational experience that lasts for a 30-day cycle through the moon cycle. And basically sharing all the tools with people that I have used to change my life. And that's all I can think of right now that I do. I feel like there's something that I'm missing, but yeah, something like incorporated in what I do, and like I use aspects of breathwork, I'd say, but not like one of my main offerings. Yeah. It's one of the tools that helped me, that's for sure. And I use breathwork in the sessions. Yeah, that's my pitch. I need to tighten it up a little bit, but and not say so much. I realize
That's what we'll see now.
yeah, I know it's a good thing to do is to like make a video of yourself doing that.
Yeah,
Then you'll really know how much you.
mine was 10 minutes.
That's a really long elevator ride.
That's like you're standing outside the elevator time.
I was just getting it out and then I just pinned it at the top of the thing. There we go. Perfect.
Allie, I got smudging stuff on the computer. Allie, do you want to do your elevator pitch for us?
Sure, let me pull it up. Hold on one second.
You got those.
That's cheating.
I've been working with Francisca actually, which inspired some of this to like have it written up and ready. But then me and Amy started doing these shows and I was like, Brian, trying to like wing it every time. I'm like, and I'd be like, all right, let me get this right. Okay, so I'm Allie of Earthly Me. I'm a body worker of 19 years and metaphysical channel. My passions are my kiddo and my fur baby, and for helping my clients to rediscover their connection to their own bodies and higher selves in order to empower themselves with ways to care for their physical, spiritual, and or emotional health. I offer in-person body work and virtual soul care sessions. Check out my links for more info and hit me up to book a session.
It does great when you read it like that.
No ups in there.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That's good practice though too, to like actually write it down.
Yeah.
Then you can just remember it. You can be like a robot when somebody asks you what you do.
Yeah, I should do that and read it. I've worked with a business coach a little bit, so that's what got me to where I'm at, but.
I would be open to it evolving too. I have to say, I feel like I would come back to my elevator pitch and my mission and my about me and my bio. Like I revisit it like every 3 or 4 months and I make tweaks to it. And I feel like every time it just gets better and better.
Yeah.
It might be a cool practice too to like have us do this each time we meet up together, like who we are and what we're doing, what we're repping, and then we'll really know who does what in the community as far as like resourcing each other and also just having us have that chance to practice it, because it's awkward as hell. Even when we're on the show, me and Amy are just like, oh, it's cringy, but once you get used to it, it's like, oh, I mean, what, people do it all the time. Like I'm just telling you who I am, what I do. So
Yeah.
Right. There's nothing to it and we make it make it so big.
right.
I'm Amada Karina, and I am a quantum energy healer. And my gift was activated, my channeling was activated in 2018. On a personal level, I'm a womb healer, and I help women heal their trauma and their wombs so they can live in their highest creative expression. And so on a much larger capacity, I've been called to work on stage and heal thousands of people. And I'm not sure what that looks like yet, but I see visions of me and either someone else speaking or someone else leading a meditation or something, or singing, and I'm there activating and facilitating healing for everyone straight from source. And yeah, and I am just, I felt like when it came about, I felt like it kind of took me, like it chose me. I know that's not the truth, but I was very surprised and very, very thankful that it came about. It's pulled me and my self-worth farther than I ever thought I could. So I'm just happy to be here. Thank you. Thank you.
It'll get easier and easier every time.
Yeah. When later, to add on a little bit, I do feel me working with vets later on, maybe traveling the US and in a RV or something, and going to big vet conventions or something. I'm not sure.
You're talking about
Veterans.
Yes, not veterinarians, right? I figured.
Veterans, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know the main things that I'm here for, and I just don't know what order or how or what, but it's here now.
Shown little glimpses of.
Yeah. Yeah,
Just now to let it all unfold.
right.
Beautiful. Well, the next thing, we're gonna get really into the nitty gritty of like, what are you working on in your business right now? Like, how are you working on expanding? And yeah, like, what are the like physical, like action steps that you're working to expand your business? And Francisca will be joining us at 5:30 on Zoom because she lives in there. So yeah, we have, like 25 minutes to chat and kind of, I just thought it'd be nice to, just share with each other and, about those things and like to keep the momentum going, whatever you're working on and, kind of, for everybody here. And we can support each other by, if you like need help with something or whatever. So what's everybody got going on?
Well, one way I'm just trying to expand my business is expanding my mindset around abundance and really opening myself up to the idea of receiving, especially with this Taurian energy. I've just really been honoring this time of the time to really just like hone in on our self-worth, because that's what the Taurus energy is really all about, right? And so a lot of my visualizations right now, I've been having two main visualizations in my practice that have just been coming to me. One is just the earth, just really just being in the earth and surrounded and seeing all the abundance of the earth. But what the earth is telling me in these visualizations is like, I'm seeing all that the earth receives in order to give what it gives. So it's receiving the sunlight, it's taking in the breeze, it's got the starry night sky and the full moon, like these flashes come to me in my meditations that are showing me and like really allowing me to tap into receiving and what that really means on a somatic experience. So just surrendering into these earth energies and being like, I am earth. In order to give the abundance of earth, I have to receive, I have to take in the nourishment. And allowing myself to associate nourishment with financial abundance. Right, because that's always been hard. It's I've gone through these humps over the years of the camp. I can receive the earth, the abundance of the earth. I have all this plant medicine around me. I grow my food, I was able to like take in and receive a lot of things that were outside the scope of money. Right. And then, but so 2 years ago, I really started working on, right around COVID, I really started working on how to receive compliments. So that was one of my other hiccups before I had to get to money. So I realized my block around money was my block around receiving compliments. My blocks around being able to talk about myself. So delivering an elevator pitch, I had to work through my blocks of being okay talking about myself. And me, my inner critic, I'm like, oh, it's so great to sit there and talk about what you do and how you help people, so over the years, I just really had to work on that inner critic voice and my blocks around being okay receiving compliments, because I get a lot of compliments and I've always been so like shy, like, oh, it's been hard for me to like own it and like, yes, thank you. Like, we had a great session together, didn't we? And just really honor and take that in. And I noticed that when I started being able to do that, my money box started dissolving. Right, just being able to honor what people wanted to give me through energy, through words, through their appreciation, opened up the doors for me to then be able to take it to the next step of being able to receive the monetary value that they want to give me. Right, and then once you can kind of do that, then all of a sudden you start drawing in people who want to value and give you the money. And that's what I'm starting to find, and that's the ripple I'm starting to see now. It's been like 15 years of work, of course. I'm not saying this happened overnight for me. It's been 5 years of really, really deep work around the mindset. But it's really fun to see the momentum of the ships just in alignment with what's going on in the sky. And just when I tap into these alignments, how that just amplifies, you know, all the work that I'm doing that gets me to release these blocks and open up to receive and trust and surrender and all these things like what we really need to truly embody to really be able to be in that abundant mindset. So I do a lot of tapping and do a lot of inner chakra work. And I do a lot of visualization. So my other visualization outside the earth visualization right now is visualizing in the womb space. Actually, I got this from my friend Monica. I love Monica. Monica Valverde, if you guys know her, she's amazing. I'm going to try to get her to come to these as well, by the way. But she does a lot of sexual healing and relationship intimacy healing. And she shared with me this beautiful visualization. Whenever you're manifesting, she likes to manifest things in the space of the womb. And I thought that was beautiful because it's this way of containing, and you have the womb, which is the rebirthing process. And if you're wanting to birth something new or manifest, that you can, it was just a powerful visualization. So I started using it the last couple of weeks. And I found it's very powerful because everything that I've been visualizing in this womb space, which to me, it starts out in a womb space, but then it turns into a heart. So it's like the womb space in the heart, which is really, that's just how it's showing up for me in my visualizations. Like I'm seeing shifts, incredible shifts with them, visualizing like what I want to see for him, like in our heart womb space, and like what I want to see for myself. And I'm starting to see it unfold around me. It's really been cool. And I'm just getting tingly, like sensations all over my back right now. It's just so fun to feel all the work finally unfolding and like coming. And the manifestations feel really nice. Like I've got this trip coming up. I'm like behind on rent. I'm like, look, I'm like struggling a little bit financially, but I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna give all the money down. Trust that it's all gonna come back to me. And I'm gonna have money for this trip, and I'm gonna be paying my rent tomorrow, and everything's gonna be okay. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
Yes, I'm in a very similar money. Like, I don't know if it's just because of what I'm like oh my God, what am I trying to say? Words are like challenging tonight for some reason for me. I've been thinking a lot about, I always think a lot about manifestation and like, what am I thinking about? What is my energy? What am I attracting? Like, and I've been thinking literally like about how everything in our environment is a reflection of what our insides are, that as within, so without, right? Like, and so, so been like using that as a tool because I'm working through the same thing. Sorry, I'm like, my thoughts happen so many at once that I have a hard time sometimes getting them out in a way that makes sense. But like, I don't know if it's because like people are just going through this right now, this like money, or if it's like because the people that I have attracted into my life have the same thing going on because of that as within, so without, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I think you guys are both in the same boat, right? Like we're all working, and I know Allie is too. We're all working on, yeah, it's specifically with monetary abundance, though. It's like very specific. So it's interesting that the four of us, I know in particular, and probably all the other women that have come to this circle, because that's what I've noticed is like, that's just what happens when you hold a circle of people. Like everybody that comes has something that you have going on, you know, that's what I found. But anyway, yeah, so like huge things I'm also working on, money wise, specifically with money, trying to just like be okay with like wanting to have money. Like that feels really hard to even say that I want that because it feels so. I have some deeply rooted thing that I don't even know exactly. Like I know, actually, thanks to a session with Allie, I know what the root is of this from a past life, but I don't know like in this life how, because it's all multifaceted and layered, you know, there's like stuff from past lives, but there's also from this life, like things that I learned as a child that people said around me about money. Like definitely there's something about like you shouldn't want to have a lot of money is like what it feels like is the thought or something. So yeah, because yeah. But you have to like want to have money in order for money to want you, right? Like I've been realizing that it's like a relationship. Like one of the thing I think I mentioned last time I started doing like a money manifestation ritual, that this lady named Mia Magic, I know Allie loves her. I love her. I love like all of her messages, all of her content. She's actually from Humboldt County, which is really cool. She's a witch. She's like a full-blown like professional witch. Like that's what she does. She's wears a witch hat in her Instagram videos and stuff. And anyway, I just really like her. But she's like, her way of thinking about things has really helped me recently. Like, because I've been working on this for a few years, and like, but some like major shifts have happened for me, like mentally, because it's, yeah, just like, she has one video that she recently did that's like all about why spiritual people should have a lot of money, because it's a huge thing, especially in the spiritual community, because we have this idea that like, if we're spiritual, like we shouldn't want to have a lot of money. Like there's like this weird connection there for some fucking reason. I don't know why, but but she's explaining like, we should have a lot of money, because we're the people who are going to use it wisely, that can impact the planet and like help her heal. She's talking about Mother Earth healing. She's so connected to the elements in the earth. Like she's all about like living to protect Mother Earth, like the decisions to not buy things on Amazon and stuff like that. And so like so just like that idea of like, oh damn, like, yeah, we should have money. We should have all of the money. Like the people right now who have all of the money are the ones that are effing up the planet. So like that was really powerful for me. And there's a little spider crawling on this crystal. This is what I shared last time about the idea of like, because there's definitely a blockage of like asking people to pay for my services, whatever my services are, like spiritual healing, you know. And so sorry, another thought coming in. Oh, she was saying that like, she was explaining why her programs are so expensive. I mean, obviously she's making money selling those programs, but the other side of it is, from the person paying, it's important for them to be investing in themselves, because when you're spending money on something that's going to further you along on your spiritual healing journey, like that's you saying to the universe, like, I am worth this much money. So she tells a story all the time about how she put a payment for $10,000 on a credit card for a business coach for herself, and within a month she booked her own first $10,000 payment, because she was willing to like put that into her growth, you know. And that was really impactful for me to have that perspective of like, oh, it's not just about me making money, because that's the weird thing that to me, it feels weird to say, I want to have clients because I want to make money, because that's not actually the reason that I want to have clients. The reason that I want to have clients is because of my mission, the work that I'm doing spiritually, but there's the energetic exchange that we want to have, and then to be able to survive in this society that we live in currently, that we need money, you know, in this world right now. But anyway, so, but yeah, there's like this weird thing that happens with saying I want to be paid for this time. Anyway, but then to think about it like that, where it's like, actually this person is investing in themselves, and by doing that, sending that message to the universe that they are worthy of healing. And so that helped me a huge amount to feel more comfortable, and to actually see myself like having a really high ticket item like in my business. So yeah, so I'm definitely, that's what I'm working on. But yeah, and then like, I don't know, I want to make sure everybody has time to share before Francisca comes on, so we should have like,
I want to add one thing to that real quick. One thing that I've started realizing too is we are special. We have a unique skill set, And if anybody could do it, we wouldn't have to charge money for it, right? So the reason why we should be wanting money is to one, value the gifts that we have. It's not just like valuing ourselves to pay our bills and have a sense of security, but it's also like valuing that, like, wow, what we are bringing into this world. Like, just like not everyone can go out and be an engineer and get paid $200,000 to be an engineer. You know, like that's a special skill set that we value, which is why they have that high salary, because they put in the work to do that. But for us, like these are gifts that we own, we harness, we have a lifestyle that supports it. Like we live a life that allows us to share the gifts in the world. We should be valued for that. And not just this like small amount per hour, but we should be valued for the life that we live that supports every hour of work that we put out.
Thank you for saying that. I've been trying to get more comfortable with like when someone's talking like that, and I think now I believe that I'm receiving some sort of download about like confirming what you're saying, but understanding why. Anyway, this happens to me. I'm just now realizing that I need to be more confident in like that's information coming to confirm and to understand. But what came to me when you were saying that was like the reason why the spiritual community has this idea, because when you said about the people that go to school to like get trained to do these specified jobs where nobody else can do that, like that's really valuable to our society. Our society as a whole right now doesn't value spiritual practitioners, like, so, and it's because of the fact that we were all probably killed as witches in the past life, you know what I'm saying? Like that we were taken down. That's why we're all afraid to come out and be who we actually are, because we were told that we weren't supposed to be like that. We're, you know. So then so it's all tied into the money thing. Like the self-worth was taken away.
Yeah.
We shut down and now we're trying to value, figure out how to value, and the world is trying to figure out how to value that too. Well, yeah. But like, I want to be talking and Allie.
So been working with a lot of, and last year I invested in a trauma coach. It was trauma, focused on trauma for 8 weeks, and then business side, and whatever residual major trauma things needed to be done in the second 8 weeks. But it was the best decision I ever made. I forgot to mention myself and my client size that I heal triggers. Certain triggers that we get reflected to us in the outside world. So then we heal that trigger, and it does heal it, and then we show up differently, and then we stop getting that reflected back to us in the outside world. And it's so, like you said, multidimensional with it. I have been learning a lot about just completely showing up authentically, so I can be received, and so I may receive. And I did have a lot of blocks towards receiving, so many, and abundance. And I think that how they say money is the root of all evil. I mean, that's all, everybody knows that saying, and they tell us all of that, but they tell all of us that. And I think that's where it comes from. You know, a lot of it comes from. I think psychologically in this lifetime, but I have been, so what my coach had me do, she told me something, I was trying to come up with my prices, and she told me something very interesting. And she said, because I was always pricing things on whether or not somebody could afford it. And she said, you don't price it whether or not they can afford it. You price it on the value of the thing. What is it worth to you? Yeah. And then another thing she did was she had us look in the mirror and say, start low and work our way up, saying, I'm worth this much an hour. I'm worth this much an hour. And you start at 10, and then you get that icky feeling, you know, and you move up until you feel like,
Whoa.
okay, and you're staring at yourself in the mirror like, I'm worth this much, I'm worth this much, I'm worth this much. And it's a big exercise. I mean, it's a big impact, I should say. It's a small exercise, big impact. But I most definitely have been pushed to see abundance in all things, not just caffeine. See abundance in trading and making connection, and there's so many things. I don't have a studio yet. I haven't made that jump. I still work out of the bottom floor of my townhouse. I set it up as a studio. And right now I'm just doing so many things out. I'm rearranging, taking shelves upstairs, shelves, taking that shelf downstairs. And I'm just like clearing out one storage and putting it in a smaller storage, and clearing out so many things right now. And it feels like energetically, yeah, my place was clean, but it was like, there's a lot of little things in little corners, a lot of little things in a corner, I'm just clearing things out and I'm making room. I'm making room for all kinds of things. And to be able to hold space for women and have them hold space for me, it was very foreign, but also like so relieving that we don't have to carry it on our own. And we're also similar and we're going through the same things, and it's incredible. So I forget, I don't know what else I was gonna say, but I did all right. Yeah, but I've definitely been working with the whole manifestation thing, basing it on okay, what am I seeing in my outside world? Okay, time to go back in, heal that trigger, or heal whatever's going on there. And then I've just really been starting to see how I'm co-creating. Like, oh yeah, I did that. And then things just go whoop, 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 once in a while, yeah, once in a while we feel like, like try to move and you can't, but a lot of times we'll just get in that flow and it just feels so freaking good. And I know it's coming. I know, abundance, like romantic love, I know financial freedom, I know it's all coming. It's just about being in the moment, I feel like.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do, because I've had to borrow from my mom and from middle of last year to like this last month, a little bit every month. And now like all my bills are dropping in half. So that's part of my manifestation, so finding abundance in that. Like all my bills, like half my bills are literally gone, or the amount of them at least, they've dropped. So starting there. So it's just an exciting journey.
Yes. How about you, Allie? What are you working on in your business?
Okay, first I just have to mention, so Amelia, I texted you a while ago saying I just got a message that you're healing those generational curses by doing this group, and then you mentioned it and I was like, shut up, that's crazy. Let's see. So it's fun, like we're all doing all that work right now, right? I feel like we're all just healing this abundance line to us. Are we doing all the things, right? Like I've written at 11/11 last year, we wrote down, me and my friends Sarah and Ashley had a little bonfire and wrote down these affirmations, and then we recorded them, and I've been listening to those almost every day. I've been doing really good with that. And then yeah, just like talking like, oh my God, we're so rich. Me and my daughter have this fun game where we just like talk about how rich we are and how awesome it is to drive our like perfectly amazing car and have this dope house of our dreams, and we just pretend, and it's so much fun. Like it's kind of just lifts us out of whatever we're in, and it raises our vibe, and just like expecting shit just fall in my lap, and knowing that the services that I provide, that I have the intention to help everyone on their journey in every way, shape, and form. Like, I just know that's so pure. And for all of us who, you know, have so much to give and so many gifts to give, yeah, just like holding that vibration. And I've had a whole hell of a lot of lessons, especially since that 11/11 around abundance. Just even like, you know, I had asked my parents to borrow money at one point, and then I was like, wait a second, never mind. Like, I've done this the whole, like, they were going to give me shit about it anyway. So I'm like, you know, let me just avoid the drama of borrowing money from anyone ever again. Like, that's why thanks for reminding me why I don't ask to borrow money, and also that I can do it on my own, because that's what I've always done. So I don't know, just like really dope lessons like that. I've worked with a coach that owed me some coaching sessions back in the day. And I've worked with Francisca on some of the stuff that she's putting together, which has really like opened my eyes. I'd say the biggest thing I've gotten out of it so far is a confirmation that I hate social media, but also that she like really helped me clarify what, like, using words like I've never been able to really put into words what I do and feel comfortable with it. And I guess that really, really helped me, because I was like, I don't know, it just like clicked. Like, it just made a lot of shit click for me. Like, yeah, like, that's right, I'm doing this, like, this is what I'm doing, and I'm good at it. I'm fucking good at it. Like, I'm good at what I do, and I love it, and I help people. Like, why the fuck should I not get money, like bread, like all these other, playing basketball, really? Like, that's going to change people's life, that one shot you made, you know what I'm saying? So it's like just kind of shifted like how I think about what I do by putting words to it. So yeah, just a lot of stuff, right? Like, I feel like we're just all on this journey, and I'm just so grateful that we all are, because like I know that me doing this work is healing the things that, you know, is in my history and my experiences. But same with y'all, everyone has different experiences, and you're healing your aspects of it, and then we come together collectively in shit like this, in places like this, in situations like this, where we're able to just like, I don't know, just heal more deeply and like collectively, and like put all that shit together and make it a big old cauldron soup and turn it into some magical shit. And I'm excited. So yay, thank you guys.
Oh, I love it. Hi, Francisca. We have a very small group tonight, and I know I told you we usually have like 8 people, which is the case the
Yes,
past couple
usually.
times. So I don't know if it's like the eclipse energy or what, but I know your thing the other night was really small too, which was you know, just I don't know. I'm like, that there's something going on with the energy. But yeah, I think everybody kind of knows you.
Who
Great.
else is with us? Hi, Ali.
Amada's here.
Amada.
She just went to the bathroom.
Yeah, she just stepped out to go to the bathroom, but she was at the women's thing at the studio. So, and then Ali's online here. So yeah, it's just the small
Are
group.
you at home?
What's up, honey? Yeah, I'm home,
Awesome.
chilling, doing all the things, you know.
I'm so happy that it's y'all. I'm so happy that it's small. That's okay. And I mean, we can dive in a little deeper when we share too. So what have you guys been talking about? How's it been so far?
Yeah, so we just today we've talked about we gave our little elevator pitches at the beginning and practiced that. And then we've been talking about like what we're working on in our businesses right now. And everyone is working on monetary abundance. So yeah, that's what's going on. I'm gonna grab the paper and pens that I told you that I would have for everybody. So
Awesome.
floor is yours. Hi.
Cool. Well, Ali, I'm glad that was like a cool tangent, because I'm in my office right now. I have my full-time job working for a state university. So you guys like are definitely living the dream, in the sense of I'm still living one dream that I'll, you know, eventually transition out of, right? But that being said, I'm happy you guys did an elevator pitch today. I think that's really good practice. You all were at the Mystic Mixer too, and we did elevator pitches there too. It's scary, like to have to articulate and say it in a short amount of time with the attention span people have. So that's cool. Monetary abundance is so attainable, and once you have like Ali was saying, that energetic mindset, but also like the tools, so I hope we can do some fun like writing today, and do a little bit of journaling. We're actually going to be doing parts of the journey I designed that Ali tested for me. And it's an offering that I want to offer healing artist entrepreneurs. And she did a big chunk of it. And so we're actually going to be doing activities from that. So Ali, you can do it again and just fine tune
Yes,
things.
girl.
I'd love everyone to just go around and like give me like a little elevator speech, or I know y'all. Amada, I want to get to know you more. Maybe you guys we can just go around in a circle, and what you identify with now as far as what services you're offering, and right now what your passion projects are, what it's looking like for you, like just really brief.
Cool. Yeah. More specifically, like what are our offerings?
Yeah. What do you do? Who are you?
Cool. Yeah. Not going back to showing. Well, whatever. We'll just put it on. Sorry, hold on. Let me see. You.
And the reason I asked this question, I guess I should probably explain it. Like I said, I know y'all personally, most of you, but it gives me context as to what we'll be kind of doing today. So it's all part of the grand scheme, I guess. I'm not like, tell me again what you do. Like, no, I want to hear your words. I want to see, what comes out when you say it. No pressure. You're muted.
Oh, that's why it wasn't hearing me. So my offerings are one-on-one sessions that are called Quantum Soul Alchemy. And so we go into the chakra system and we clear out any blockages and things. And yeah, it's super deeply healing for people, very transformative. And then I also have just launched my first round of a 30-day transformative experience that is basically like a package of everything that I did that helped me change my whole life around meditation, yoga, healthy eating, other self-care practices. And yeah, and then I have this offering. This is a huge new offering, which is a supportive group for women entrepreneurs and really uplifting and empowering women in their businesses, and specifically like healing businesses. So yeah, those are my offerings right now.
Yeah, so cool.
So my offerings are, I do EFT tapping sessions one-on-one, and I love guiding clients into inner child healing, shadow work and parts work, and helping clients achieve a sense of calm focus, work on clearing the blocks to get to empowered self-worth. And I also offer weekly mindfulness practices and classes, different breathing practices, Tai Chi, Qigong, and my newest offering that I'm working on cultivating is a seasonal plant spirit meditation experience. And so it's going to be like a seasonal offering. So every season there'll be a little membership, and every month there'll be a 2-hour practice indoors that will be recorded and offered online for an online offering as well. And then there will be 1 weekend a month where we go out into nature and we do more of a 3-hour-long experience with an herb walk. We connect to plants growing, we do a meditation. Both classes will include tapping and qigong too, so it'll be kind of a full immersion experience of using all the tools that or a lot of the tools that I use. But connecting it to our connection with plants, and we're through those seasons developing our plant allies and our connections and bringing them into our circle for guidance and intuition and wisdom. That's what I've got going on for my services right now.
Oh, thank you.
Hi. My offerings are on a personal level. I do personal healings, womb healings, and it's called quantum energy healing. And I would explain it, if I had to put it into words, it would be like energetic surgery, just clearing out the dark, faint, or it's not really negative energy, but the whatever's keeping it from being at its full capacity, at its brightest state. And so I clear that out, and then I fill it with the most beautiful golden white light, and it comes in as a liquid. That's what it looks like to me. And so I leave that. A lot of times I work with specific organs, and so I will clear out the dark or the faded or the dingy and the clouded areas, and I will fill it with that light, and then I'll return it where it was supposed to, where it goes, and seal it up. I clear chakras. I remove cords of attachment. The clearing and the chakras and removing cords of attachment are a pretty fast service. I help people heal specific triggers that they get reflected back to them in the outside world, especially when it comes to specific people in their life from others. And although I have fine-tuned my niche to womb healing, I can work on men as well. I can work on other people as well, and other things and other problems, because every part of our body is connected to a specific emotion. And the emotions are energy and motion. And when those become stagnant, that's when they become hardened. The energy becomes hardened and stiff. And so then I go in and I clear it out. And it's DNA regeneration as well. So like I had a friend with a daughter with a catheter, and I did a lot of work on her, but her catheter would come out, and you know, they would have to get it back in, but I wouldn't be able to do healings on her at that time because her hole would want to close up. So it's a lot of DNA regeneration on in a larger capacity. I'm being called to heal. I see me on stage eventually. I was telling them healing thousands of people as someone else is either speaking, guiding a meditation, singing, or something, but I'm there and I'm focused and I'm tuned in, completely submerged in my connection with spirit, and facilitating healing for the whole crowd. And I also see me starting at like retreats, like doing it with groups of women, and I know that I'm going to be like practicing and trying and experiencing it first, probably with you guys. But and then the retreats, I thought I can go through and do one-on-one womb healings, or I can, you know, I was going to talk to Ali. Me and Yamuna were about getting some womb healing retreats going or something, but there's a lot of things, that, you know, I see happening, but, at the retreats, I can either go through and do the one-on-one, if I'm working with other people on the retreats, or I can facilitate healing just for everyone. But it does require me to be fully connected, where I won't really be speaking much, you know, so I don't know what that looks like quite yet. It's still all fresh and new for me, as far as, you know, not the gift and the channeling itself, but what I'm doing with it, you know, how it's going to come about, or yeah, I just know that a lot of people are being called to heal their own womb and others. And the mother wants her womb healed, you know, the waters and everything like that. So that's where I'm at.
Oh, can't hear you.
Oh, I was mumbling.
Oh,
I'm just like thinking, you know, there's like she said, there's so much. So thank you. And that's beautiful.
what about
Thanks for sharing that. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do my little spiel from that I got like put together from like doing this work with Francisca. So I hope you don't mind.
No
'Cause-
disclaimers, no disclaimers.
well, like I'm gonna read the first part is my intro to our podcast, and then what I got. So I'm Allie of Earthly Me, a body worker of 19 years and metaphysical channel. My passions are my kiddo and my fur baby, and for helping my clients to rediscover their connection to their bodies and higher selves in order to empower themselves in some ways to care for their physical, spiritual, and or emotional health. I offer in-person body work and virtual soul care sessions. Check out my links for more info and hit me up to book a session. And then for clarification, in soul care sessions, I help humans who struggle with connecting to their higher selves to open to their own inner healing and guidance. When they work with me, they receive healing messages and energies from aspects of their higher selves that they most need at the time of the session. It helps them to rediscover their connection to their higher selves and empowers them in some ways to care for their physical, spiritual, and or mental health. So those are two of my elevator pitches.
I'm so happy from everything you said, but like, it's so cool to hear you say that, like in the way that, you know, you worked it. So, that just fired me up. Okay. So I have a lot of thoughts about everything y'all said, but like, before I dive into like me and what I do and who I am, like you guys have such amazing gifts. You know, that's why we're here. And like Amada had alluded to, we need this right now. You know, the earth needs this, community needs this. And the way you guys described it in this context completely makes sense to everyone in this circle, right? But I was listening to see if I could understand what you were offering based on someone who isn't in these kind of circles, but needs this work. And so when we talk about like financial abundance and monetary gain and like actually living off of this income in an abundant way while you're doing this work, we've got to not only be our circle, we have to like expand out and figure out how to reach the people who need this most, who don't necessarily know what a chakra is. Because once you start to gain those clients, you're going to make more money. So that's kind of one of the areas that I focus on is how do we make this accessible to more people? Now, we're only human and want to stretch ourselves to a certain degree. And there's lots of ifs and there's lots of buts, but like that's one aspect of expansion, is like thinking about how clear are you? And when Ali said her marketing message, which is something we worked on in the journey, it was very clear. She said who she was, she said what she helps people with, and why that works. And that's kind of what I want to like help you guys start thinking about today. Obviously I didn't ask you to do that because I was just wanting to kind of hear what you're offering. So I was expecting you to say it in layman's terms or anything, but that's kind of what is really exciting once you learn how to do. So a little bit about me, you guys know me, but I have a career in education, and I've been able to thread my academic, my teaching, my leadership experience, and my event planning skills into my dream business, which is still in the becoming phase. I am not sure, but I don't consider myself necessarily like, obviously I feel like I can be that, but I have to be honest in the sense that like my role is slightly different, and that's what's so cool about working with healing artists, is because I recognize what I am not, and I want to support you guys. So I'm going to share a little bit about myself, kind of demonstrating some things. So very briefly, my little, I guess maybe it's an elevator speech, not really. It's just some notes I have about me and kind of what we're going to go into. So after I overcame years of addiction, abuse, and energetic blockages, I now have a spiritual business helping healing artists like you guys elevate your art and your paychecks and progress to ideas that are more profitable, that can reach more people. So I will help you design the map, shaping your habits for real results so that you feel a new wave of momentum, clarity, and personal power. The people I like to work with most include women in the range of like 27 to 55. These women are usually pretty bluntly honest and open about their vulnerabilities. They're often yogis who practice not only asana, but philosophy. A lot of times they're mothers, women of color, and artists. I help new, emerging, and established healing artists expand their reach and enhance their teachings with stronger marketing, more sustainable work habits, and more engaging curriculum so they can make more income doing what serves the highest good. I just kind of told you my brand, my niche, and my marketing message, and I help people kind of craft this. Obviously, I'm doing 2 retreats right now too. I'm a hyper planner. I love planning agendas, putting pieces together and communicating. I have a breathwork and meditation that I host, and I bring on other leaders, as you all know, monthly. So I'm really a host, and I plan events. And then I'm also now tapping into business consultation and collaboration. So you guys have any like major questions before I dive into like my notes and then the activities we're going to be doing? Because I want to definitely jump into these so we can write some stuff down. And you guys, you can unmute, like you don't have to stay muted. It's fine. Like we can make it an open channel. I like to feel the quiet energy of here and there.
Make sure there's no audio interference so that we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Is there?
Well, I mean, there could be, I don't know. We're just in such a large space where there's echoes and whatnot. So,
okay. Let me know if there's anything that comes up. Can you guys hear me okay?
yeah, we can hear you fine. Yeah. But yeah, we don't have any questions right now. But if Allie does, Allie, go ahead.
Nope, I'm good, guys.
Okay. So a little bit about why I feel like the work you do is so important, and the work I do is so important. I feel like when people are out there trying to find a mentor or a healer or a spiritual coach who aren't necessarily immersed in this community, maybe they're lower income, maybe they're, their parents were never into like healing arts or yoga. You think about, your upbringing and when did you start actually tapping into this stuff? So people who are out there who could use this work, but don't really know how, when they do get a glimpse of it or they meet you, their decision is really based on like that resonance and that feeling that of whether or not like the relationship with you could be appropriate for their level of growth wherever they're at in their path, right? So if, for example, if they're not even close to starting and they feel like your resonance is like way high and like, what is that? I'm too intimidated. That's a lot. Then like that resonance kind of determines whether or not they're going to be like, oh, like maybe I do want to like schedule a consultation. Maybe it just stops at like, wow, she's a really interesting woman. And like some of the stuff she said was like, whoa, really, like I'm interested in that, but they're not going out of their way to like click that button or like actually. It's about that initial resonance that you can create. And so as a spiritual entrepreneur, in order to attract the clients and people you want to help, and Candace has been doing this for so long. She probably has so much insight. Like Candace, you could probably do a business coaching yourself to all of us, because you think about, have you created a business that supports you financially in the way that you want and need for your family? And like, you might not be there yet, but there are levels to this, right? So like where you're at or where I'm at might be different than where Allie's at or where Candace is at. And like, so we've really got to learn from the ones that have done this. But also the people who have been doing it might benefit from like some of these ideas. So part of your growth as an entrepreneur really means like periodically doing an assessment on your business, and not like you can thinking, right, that I'm not as like emotionally driven in the way that I talk, right? So assessment is something that like you're not judging yourself, you're not trying to remove your emotion for a moment and just kind of assess, how are you running your business? Take a closer look at how you're attracting or not attracting more clients and ways for you to expand your income. We got to assess, right? Then we pivot and we modify. So I think healers are often like organic. Does this feel right? Let me go with what spirit guides me to. That's obviously why you are doing what you do. And I want more of that. I want to learn from you in that. So important. But you also need to learn how to articulate and portray yourself visually in text, creating that unique resonance that's going to get you more potent and more profit in your work. Looking at the world today, people are experiencing all kinds of darkness in the earth as well. So it's no doubt we need you, right? It's no doubt that there's a high demand. So what's the missing piece between this amazingness you have to give and the demand for it, but the bridge of actually making it happen? So you have this critical role. And I think ethics is really important too. I don't want to get too much into ethics, but we need to meet the human community where they're at. And if we're in these higher chakras, that's beautiful, but we also need to teach people, right, how to ground down. That's why I love, women who work with plants and nature, because we're immediately kind of coming into our earthly existence. So I think it's important that in order to reach people, we stay in that groundedness too, and make sure we're doing things safely. So having an ethical value or ethical mission in your work is something I recommend. We can't live in a bubble and make these like big waves, right? For example, one of the sayings they have about racism is like, in order to bridge the gap between like different groups of people, like we have to break bread with people who are different than us. Like we have to break bread with them. We have to eat with them. We have to meet them where they're at. And so when I say we can't live in a bubble, like it's the same with the healing arts world. We're in a bubble. And like Humboldt County is a bubble. It's the most beautiful bubble ever. I want to be there. Like, and being out of that bubble, I can see, wow, there's so many people who need you guys. So how do we bridge that? We have to like get out and see, we have to look at ourselves from that perspective, if that makes sense. So let's see, anything else I want to say about that? To help you all anchor into like those practical intentions, those innovative tools, and have just a more accessible curriculum so that you can expand your business and do it from a very authentic place. So I help you with like systems, technologies, articulation, very Aquarius age energy that I work with, and a lot of written and visual tools. So I'm a really analytical thinker. I'm visual and verbal, just a little bit about me. Because, my coaching and consultation isn't going to work with everyone, and I understand that too. Okay, so let's dive in. I'm going to share my screen. Let's see if I can just have your journal. So you'll have to click, Amelia, you'll have to go to your settings when you have a minute. You'll have to I'll have to figure out where it says allow screen sharing. I think it might be on the share screen button or the 3 dots. You might even be able to do it with the 3 dots by my video. Awesome.
When I click on the little arrow by my share screen button, it says 1 participant can share at a time. Is it not allowing you to share your screen? Like in the middle at the bottom?
You've got to make it so participants can share the screen. So it's like anyone.
All participants. Okay, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So the first activity is about defining your niche. So, back when I was blurbing a bunch of words to you guys about myself, you may or may not have noticed that I defined my brand by telling you a little bit about myself. And Allie did this too. Then I defined my niche, so the type of people I work with. And then I kind of defined my marketing message, which is how I help you, why you should work with me. So this is something that's included in one of the pieces of the component I designed. So the first exercise is one of my favorites. So defining your niche, word count limit. Amada, you talked a little bit about your niche. And when you described your niche, you described it as woo. That's awesome. The more narrow our niche, the more the demand. So the money-making secret is that you are not the person sitting next to you, right? So your authentic story is going to make you stand out. No one has your story. And that is going to create your resonance. So what I love about Allie is like, when you meet Allie, like, she is like straight up, no bullshit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what kind of woman she is. And not everyone's going to vibe with it, but the people who do know it, they resonate with it. So that's that authenticity. But you guys are all really authentic. So you just have to narrow down like your niche. What is that? So I want you to list words that relate to your services. You guys, this can be anything. Like this can literally be anything. Like don't get too bogged down by what you do and what you offer. Like just start writing words. And I want you to write words related to like the clients you serve. Maybe it's words related to like the kind of clothes you wear or, you know, what you're into, like, but maybe it's about your services or problems you solve. I want you to list 5 adjectives. So this is where it gets tricky. Okay, adjectives. 5. Now you can write more of each and we'll narrow it down after. But I want you to start writing some nouns. That's probably the easiest way to start. And then I want you to write some verbs. And then I want you to write some adjectives. So not phrases. We're not doing phrases here, just the words. All right. So I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes. Get creative, use imagery, you know, get really imaginative. So beyond like you could do personality traits, but just really just expand. And oftentimes like you can use a thesaurus. We're not going to do that right now, but go ahead and just write some words down. Have questions, like don't hesitate to unmute or few more minutes, so just keep writing away. If you have 5 of each, just keep adding to the list. Got about 1 more minute to add some more words. All right, you guys. So go ahead and stop. And I want you to look at your list and just kind of like, which type of word did you have the most of? Like, did you have more nouns? Did you have more verbs? More adjectives? Looking at your words, does this capture the services you guys mentioned at the beginning when I hopped on and you told me what you're doing? You know, does it describe it? Does it describe you, your personality, your story? Or is it more focused on your business? Is it both? So this is just the beginning part of this exercise. What you can do on your own later is you can narrow down, like only like, let's say, make it hard, narrow it down to like or less. Getting down to like the essence. Now, I'll say this activity was for a social media task. And I love that Ali said she hates social media, because what I realized in designing this course, whatever, I hate calling it a course because there's so many freaking, I'd call it something else. But when I designed this course, you know, she said she learned she hated social media, but there's some gems in it. So I'm redesigning it so that there's one with the social media aspect and one without. Anyway, so the point of this activity was for you to create a bio for your Instagram that was unique, authentic, straight to the essence of what you do, so that when people see your profile, they know exactly what they're getting into. And that is also like really helpful in today's day and age, because people are just, you know, the attention spans are like nothing out there. So hopefully you can use this to create a phrase. And I'll tell you what mine is. So mine, if you go to my, and this is after, and I'm telling you, it's not easy, you know, because you guys do so many. So it's not easy narrowing it down, because we're not just 5 words, you know, we're not just one phrase. Mine says Dharma guide and mystic cartographer. I help transform blockages into pathways. And it says freedom visionary. So like, people probably would be a little confused as to what this is. Like, what does she do? I don't get it. So, you know, I should probably work on mine. And I think it was different. We rework it over and over again. But think about it. Practitioners out there. How many quantum healers are now out there? How many spiritual guides are out there? Right? There's a lot. So you've got to like start to tap into what your niche is and what makes you that resonance we were talking about earlier. Like, you know, Ali's is no bullshit, like blunt, honest, real, you know, like or her energy is going to come through the words differently than the person next to you. And that's going to how you're going to pull your ideal client. So let's go to the next thing. So it's important to know like that you don't serve everyone. And once you harness your niche, but you can have multiple. So your niche, right? So like, for example, Candace, her niche for herbalism, might be different than her niche for tapping, right? So like, there's probably tons of college students who still want to learn, that beginning with herbs class that I took with you back in 2013. Like, you know what I mean? So the niche for one area might be different than the niche for another area, but there's also could be like an overarching niche. Like I only work with women, stuff like that. The more specific, that doesn't only are going to serve those people. No, you're manifesting, you're manifesting something very specific. So you can even more so create that resonance with that ideal client who, you guys, these clients that you really get a client for life. The point is that for life, it's done and they're ready for their next phase of healing and they go to the next thing maybe, right? But really this isn't like that's why this is so important, because we want the long-term income from someone. Just like when I was working with skincare, like I have people who will always want to get that foundation from me because it's the one that works for them. And so it's like, I want them to be my customer for life, not for a short period of time. And so that's also going to help. But anyway, so this next one, I want you to like paint a picture, like of just pick one woman or one man or whoever this person is, and I want you to paint a picture of this ideal client. Maybe pick one of your offerings that you really want to you want to have, 5 solid clients for this offering or whatever. Pick one thing. What's their story? What's their family like? What's their background or lifestyle? What kind of clothes do they wear? What do they smell like? What kind of food do they eat? Like I'm talking about, like paint the picture. Their age, their gender, relationship status. Do they have kids? What's their income? So these are some ideas on the bottom here. Their income, their occupation, their desired occupation, maybe their daily schedule, eating, like everything. I want you to paint a picture of this person. What do they like to do for fun? Where do they spend their time? Maybe they're not necessarily in your circle. Maybe this is someone who really needs your stuff, but isn't no limitations. So go ahead and start to just paint a picture with words of a person that is an ideal client. I'm going to give you for this one, but we're just going to do 5 minutes again, and we'll just see how far you get. About 2 more minutes. Maybe add some just personality traits or personality adjectives if you haven't yet. All right, you guys, finish up your last words. And you could do this, multiple times. It'll change each time, it'll develop, evolve. Do any of you guys want to share what maybe just one of you want to share what kind of what your ideal client looked like or is like?
I had two ideal clients, and this is where it kind of makes it hard for me to really narrow it down to choose one. And maybe that's okay for now. But one of them is what I've been, I feel like, honoring and catering to is my niche has kind of been intuitive women who are embracing their spiritual path, who desire a deeper connection to earth, plant, spirit, medicine, and journeying into the quantum for spiritual guidance, wisdom, insights, and healing. But what I am shifting into, and it's interesting because I really want to still keep that because I love that work. That work is amazing. But I'm being pulled into really working more with neurodiversity. So for that, I wrote my ideal client is scattered, tired, emotional, dysregulated, and they struggle feeling acceptance from others or appreciating their different cognitive abilities. I like to work with moms of children with neurodiversity. So I'm working with the whole family and supporting the dynamics between the parents and children. And also these parents ideally are also interested in delving into the inner child work and dealing with addressing ancestral trauma. Because I really do believe that ADD and ADHD and a lot of neurodiversity gets triggered by ancestral trauma. So my ideal client is someone with this picture, but who's wanting to do the work and to address their trauma and who needs that support and guidance.
Oh, I love that. That's beautiful. And the way you described the neurodiversity traits, like specifically those first few words, can you describe that again for the second one, the second person?
Yeah, they're scattered, tired, emotional, dysregulated.
Yeah. I see. I mean, I feel like I interact with so many people who's to into that too, I wouldn't have been able to describe it so well as you. That's really great. So how do you use this? Like, what is the point of this? Well, manifestation, of course, and kind of understanding whether or not your portrayal of your business, whether that's how you speak about it, your website, your social media, can it draw in that ideal client? Does it? Or if it doesn't, do you have other modes or actions you're taking to attract or find that client? You know what I mean? Sometimes it takes groundwork too. The more tentacles you have out, the more, podcasts, events, whatever it is, you guys are doing all the things, doing more well-rounded things. Not overextension, but like the more things and tentacles you have out in the community, you're building with different types of organizations and people, different, diverse places and people, the more you'll be able to kind of pull them in. So another thing to think about, this is something that's part of that marketing message exercise. We're running out of time, so I'm going to wrap up, but you want to think about the problems you solve. So Allie's marketing message was great. Like Allie, tell us again what the end phrase that you said that says, I help people, what?
Okay, let me just pull it up real quick. I help humans or non-humans, aliens too, starseeds, who struggle with connecting to their higher selves to open to their own inner healing and guidance. When they work with me, they receive healing messages and energies from aspects of their higher selves that they most need at the time of each session. And then you want me to read the last part too?
Sure.
And then it helps them to rediscover their connection to their higher selves and empower themselves with some ways to care for their physical, spiritual, and or mental health.
Yeah, so beautiful. Thank you. So I think that what happens is like your elevator speech is often like, I do this. That needs to be small. The big one needs to be, I help people with this. Because when someone's listening to you, they're just thinking about themselves a lot of the time, So if you can help them bridge the gap of what you do with how it will help them, what problems it'll solve, you're going to have a stronger marketing message. Yeah, you have all kinds of offerings. You do all kinds of stuff. How is it going to help me? Right.
I'd like to share something that she wrote.
So I should have caught on a long time ago about what you guys were looking for, but I am neurodivergent and I have a really slower processing. I call it the scenic route. So I do have a statement of what I do, and I'd like to read it.
Yes, please.
Sentence. And I did work with a trauma/business coach for the majority of last year. So
Cool.
I help women heal their wounds and their trauma connected to it so they may live in wholeness, thrive, and align to their highest creative potential.
Beautiful. I love that. And you could take it a little further. So you said, I help, right? So this is a cool little framework, or little, not framework, what do you call it?
Yeah.
Oh, I help blank, your niche,
Yeah.
who struggle with blank, biggest problem. When they work with me, they have, and then you have 3 outcomes. Boom, boom, boom. Maybe 4, who knows? And then you say again, I help them and you give a few reasons. So your niche, the biggest problem, the outcomes they're going to have, and then the reason. Is it reason? I don't know why that says reason. That feels weird. So here's another example. I help people identifying healing artists and entrepreneurs who struggle with alchemizing their creative services into successful income streams. When they work with me, they learn authentic branding, engaging curriculum design, and elevate their professionalism. I help them harness different media as tools while staying in ethical integrity, and they feel more confident in growing their business online, and they're more confident in making a career living their dharma. So the more specific you can get as far as like how, what, you can, Amada, you can add to yours, like you can add,
Mine was separate
how
because
you do it.
mine created because of my ad, or it was the thing that I put in the holistic heartbeat.
Oh, cool.
So it was just the message, and then, I listed things below it, but that was the main. So I have all I can fill those in. So this is pretty much what I would say when you ask for your elevator spiel. That's what this is what we're looking for.
If you're on social media, which you are, you say this every month. You got to say it over and over and over again. And you got to say it in different ways. You got to do another post in different picture over and over, because you don't want to, people want to constantly hear, what's your niche? What problems do you solve? What's your niche? What problems do you solve? What are you an expert in? What are you doing? Over and over. People have to hear it 7 times before they even consider it. So that's why social media is annoying. But once you have like all the things, then you just keep, putting it out there in different ways and do different fun designs and stuff. So
Hey, yeah, I was gonna say, can you share that slide? Would you mind in the Facebook group when we get off of this? Is that okay?
I will send it to you guys. I'll send you the actual, like the full text in an email, so you can just send it to them. Okay.
Cool, thank you.
I'll send it to you, and then you can send it to us in this group now. And then if you want to take it further, like I do have a business boost. That's what I'm calling it. Okay. So it's not a course, you guys, it's a business boost. So the point is, like, it's a one-time like thing that you rework, like you use through time. You don't have to keep coming back for more. Like you get this boost from me, which today you got a little snippet, and then you have that and you can use it in different ways long-term. And then I'm also doing consultation. So like if you just wanted help with like one piece, you really just feel like you want some feedback on this one aspect, then I offer that too. And then down here, it's like, we need to remember where we're at. Okay. So if you're a new entrepreneur, you're just kind of establishing your why. And these are all things that are in the course. So establishing your why, uncovering your expertise. What is your expertise? It took me so long to figure out like what I am and what I'm not, your aesthetic, you guys, your aesthetic is so important. Like, it's so important. It's so important not to use like bright red text on a flyer, like just little things like that, where it's like your professionalism, so we go into that. Emerging to me means like, okay, you got your why down, what your expertise is. You can portray yourself as a professional now, like what's your niche? Let's really harness what your brand is to make you resonate. And then what habits? We didn't talk about habits, but like what habits can you have? And that's why, the social media piece is frustrating. But once you get the habits down, it gets easier. It's just that initial, that's tough. But then like, it's just kind of a system.
I want to just interject really quickly on that.
Yeah.
That I think maybe I misstated this. I do hate social media. That's true. But what I meant to say was that working with you has made me understand how to hate it less, and like how to, like, I guess, have fun, like focus on the things that are fun about it, and then turn that into something. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, authenticity, right? Like showing up to it the way we want to and like not comparing to others. And yeah, thanks for sharing that. Totally. And I'm happy, I'm really happy that you did have that experience with it, with technical problems and all that, because I don't think that you necessarily need social media to have a successful healing arts business. But I do think a lot of healing artists are missing out on a huge clientele because of not using it right. So, and then if you're established as an entrepreneur, like that's that third column, like it's time to expand. And that's kind of what I was talking to earlier, like not just being in the bubble of a, not just being in the bubble of this healing arts world. The people who need you are out of it. And, your ideal client, you guys, no shame. Clients should make 150K a year. Like we need to help the people who are low income too, but like one of your ideal clients should be up there. They're gonna use your services and they should have high income and they should be coming to you regularly because you're now their person. They resonate with you and like they have the money to support your business. Like one of your ideal clients should be making a high income. Tell you that right now. Especially if you want to tap into bigger things later. And then like, yeah, evolve your curriculum, like your workshops, your classes, teaching is great, teach for free, and then teach better. And then of course, partner and collaborate like we are now. So that's all I have for you guys. Work on defining things, work on articulating them, communicating them clearly in layman's terms too. Quantum energy healing, I loved how Amada described it as like, she explained the organs and like clearing out the organs. And like, she said, healing triggers. And to me, those were the most clear phrases that I heard, because it was like, oh, I get that. You're going to help me clear out block. Like, I get that. Now, if you were to just say, hey, like, get a quantum energy healing, session with me, even me, I know the benefits of quantum healing, but I would just be like, do I have the money for that? Like, do I have the time? And I still go through this. Like, I still want all these things, but like, I'm not getting them because the message could be so much more like, hey, let's heal your triggers. I'll be like, oh shoot, I really need to heal my triggers. I'm okay. You know what I mean? So like, that's what I mean by trying to get both like a really descriptive pitch, but also like a really just straightforward one for those other people. Depending on who you're trying to reach, I guess. So actions and refining your work and collaborating. So this is kind of like my goal for like how I want to help through consultation and like business boost. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. I hope you can take these further with you, the words, the lists you wrote and the ideal client. And I'd love like if you guys have any questions, ideas, comments, I'm open to them, and you guys know how to reach me.
Thank you so much, Francisca. We have to wrap up now because there's a class coming that starts in here at 7:15.
Okay.
We'll have to have you back another time to do some more of this awesome work because it was super beneficial. And yeah, there's so much more to do that that we need help with and that you have to offer. So yeah, we're all connected. So if anybody wants to like dive in deeper with you, yeah, if you need that.
Yeah, it's interesting. She mentioned that the two parts go together, how she works and the healers, because we're often very creative to where we can't really schedule something or a lot of things or organize very well.
Right. Yeah. She's got the balance of the more masculine, that those traits of like, let's get stuff on paper and plan things out. But yeah, you so much. That was so helpful. And yeah,
Thank you.
I apologize. We don't have more time to keep on going.
Thanks for having me. I love you guys. I hope to see you in the coming months, and I hope you guys have a lovely evening.
You too.
You too.
Thank
See you
you.
Monday.
Thank you so much. Good night.